William Santana, you're the winner of last week's giveaway. Enjoy your trending comics list. Another week, another list of the trending comics in the comic book market. At the table virtually with an Overstreet Price Guide Advisor, Russ the Comic Sensei. How you feeling?
I'm great, Tom. It's good to be here this week, and it's good to be able to join you for this trending comics list.
We got a lot of books to chat about today, comic fam. Hit that subscribe button. You know we make this video for the comic community every single week. And let's start them off at number 10 with a second print. Yeah, we have Champions #1, the second print, going for $25 average sales and a $35 high sale for a raw copy. This copy just came out.
That's right, Tom. New this week, an incredible variant by Tony Infante. First time I saw this, it reminded me a whole lot of Edge of Spider-Verse, when you've got the people going between universes and it gets all kind of cartoony, video gamey. Oh, love that art. But shout out to Barcelona and another one of our great artist friends over in Spain.
Tony Infante has been killing it with covers over this past year, and he's been able to bridge this video game comic book gap by incorporating almost a video game-esque style to his art. You got to check out his covers, and let's take a look at number 9 on the list, because we have a comic that I personally bought a bunch of copies of, and I sold way too quick. We're chatting about Venom issue number 3, the 4th print.
So unless you're living under a rock, you know that Venom number 3 is the first appearance of Null. Well, this 4th print is going for $60 raw with a high sale of $229 for a CGC 9.8. Tom and I both bought a bunch of copies of this book, and it's a low print run book, just over 5,000 copies. Well, it is hot this week.
And we just found out about the February solicitation. They added 17 new titles to the King in Black run. A slew of covers coming out, and people are getting pumped about what they've been long awaiting for really all of pandemic to happen. And I think this is a last ditch effort to secure some type of key that still may spike. That's why we're seeing double of the amount of copies sold week over week as the King in Black draws nearer.
Well, this event is going to be massive, Tom. You know that there's a lot going on this month and next month and all the way into February. What people need to do is go over to Key Collector and try and decide which ones they want, because not all of you are going to want every single one of these tie-in comics. Some of you may, but for the most part, there's a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily going to be that important to the main plot line.
Yeah, if you're looking for spec value, use that code TOM101 where you can keep up on all things comic, and you'll get the best comic app that's in existence. And some of these comics that are being solicited has already started the spec minds to start thinking. We have at number 8, New Avengers number 9, going for $4 average sales after we found out a very interesting solicitation on that list of 17.
So for the February solicitation, we have King in Black, Planet of the Symbiotes number 2. And in that, we read this. In this corner, a dragon made of parasitic slime sent from outer space to consume any and all life on Earth with extreme prejudice. And in that corner, a bombastic behemoth packing 100,000 tons of all-American muscle. You know him, you love him, American Kaiju! USA! USA! USA!
That's right, comic fam. How else are we supposed to defend our nation against the symbiotic, nullified dragons from Null? Well, we got to break out the big guns, the all-American heat, the Godzilla-style Marvel character. You know him. It's Corporal Todd Ziller. How do you like that name, Russ?
Oh my God. It's just really one of the least clever names ever, Todd Ziller. But okay, that's fine. I'll let you have it, guys.
All right, well, he was the test subject of Project Troubleshooter and a human guinea pig to become a living human weapon that transforms him into this kaiju. But you know what? They didn't give him the Homelander-style flag cape. They put it right on his stomach.
So this seems like a really interesting spec, and this is what people are paying attention to. When you see something that is solicited for the future, but actually is the first appearance of a comic a few years ago, this is where things start to move and shake.
New Avengers 9 is the first appearance of American Kaiju. This is an example of how to navigate the spec market. You look at the solicitations, you watch eBay, and you see what Key Collector puts in front of you. Use that code to help you keep up on what spike from your back issue bin. Now let's take a look at number 7, because we have a new comic book that hit the market, Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 6, and you know it be spiking because of Jem Bartel colors.
I love Jen Bartel, and this cover is absolutely no exception. $130 average sale and $185 raw sale for a comic that came out this week. This is a 1 in 25 variant. Know that most 1 in 25 variants sell in the $20 to $25 range, so this book is astronomically high for a book coming out this week. Jen Bartel's art is absolutely gorgeous. Dr. Aphra is a popular character, but there aren't a lot of people buying the Dr. Aphra run. People like Dr. Aphra, but again, I've only got 4 or 5 people buying this book, and I was nowhere near getting a 1 in 25. So I think this price is justified, especially with as many Star Wars fans as there are out there.
This is one of those moments where that 1 in 25 may need to get down to Florida to be graded, because not every time, as you just quoted those prices, does it go above $30. And this one's hitting high sales of $180. This one needs a slab if you got it. Now let's take a look at number 6 on the list, because when I woke up to the trending 20, that's right, we sourced 10 of the books from a larger list of 20 found on Key Collector Comics. So there's other comics you got to consider. I got so pumped when I saw this book make the list. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, issue number 19, going for $175 average sales, a high sale at 9.6 for $660.
So this magazine size book has seen a 300% increase over the past week. Magazine size is meaning that it's oversized and it's going to be even tougher to get a 9.8 on that one. Expected to be a very, very high premium for the first appearance of White Tiger.
White Tiger is an excellent character to spec on. Although he's only in the pages at the very end of the book for a couple scenes, he does claim the Jade Tiger amulet and become the White Tiger. Here's the thing. We found out, courtesy of the Hollywood Reporter this week, that Marvel is gearing back up to start filming the Black Panther 2 movie in as early as July in Atlanta for as long as 6 months. And we have just found out that we have a potential villain that has been cast. Tenoch Huerta has now become the spec lead of choice, but we don't know who he's going to play. And because he is of Latin descent, members of the community are speccing towards White Tiger. Here's the thing I'd like you to consider. As someone who has half their family in Puerto Rico, White Tiger is the first Puerto Rican superhero, not just the first Latin American superhero created by Marvel, but the first one from PR, the island. I can't see them wasting the opportunity, because Tenoch Huerta, although is an excellent actor, check him out on Marcos, he is of Mexican descent. And although I think he can definitely do the role justice, and I would be just as pleased to see the character hit the screen, I would really like to see someone from my island actually portray the role. This is a huge moment for Puerto Ricans.
Well, this is better than Jack Black playing Nacho Libre, but something that we should keep in mind is that since there is speculation that he could be playing a few different characters, this feels a lot like Idris Elba, because we didn't know what character he was going to be. There were a couple different things that they kept tossing around. If anyone finds more information about Submariner, those may be keys to start looking at as well.
Ooh, and I like that you mentioned that, because that is what Hollywood Reporter suggested. Could we be seeing a Submariner tie-in? Could Tenoch be our new anti-hero? We want to hear your answer in the comment section below. Let me know, and I'll enter you to win this Wolverine number 1 in Hyuk Lee variant. And let's take a look at JLA number 26, entering the list at number 5 with $12 average sales.
News this week that Jim Gaffigan will be voicing the fan favorite Thunderbolt. Now, this character is a genie that's pink. Now, the master of this character is Jakeem Thunder, who shows up first in JLA number 26. That's why this book is spiking this week.
And although we don't have confirmation just yet, we are seeing rumors that Alcoya Brunson is slated to play the heir to Johnny Thunder, seeing a 700% increase in copies sold, gearing up for the appearances in Stargirl. This has been something that's unusual. I can't really think of any other television shows that we've been chatting about that haven't been on the decline and getting canceled on a weekly basis, it seems like.
So Stargirl is one of those that is escaping cancellation for now, and it seems to be very, very popular. This slate of new young DC characters on TV, well, we may see some more potential coming in at number 4 of new DC young characters.
That's right. We have DC Nation Presents Future State, the local comic shop day edition. I was a little confused because we're reporting on $50 average sales, but I could have sworn that this book was only going for $4 and that stores across the country got pounds of them. Was I wrong?
No, you are not wrong, Tom. So the Future State promo came out this week and we got 100 copies of it. There is a light blue border on the regular Future State promo. Now, there is a 1 per store for any store that participated in the local comic shop day. Round about 2,000 stores got a copy of this book, which has a much darker border. It's like a navy blue, almost black. It even has the local comic shop day logo on the back of it. And those are the ones that are selling for $50 raw this week.
Keep an eye out for the border, comic fan, because it makes all the difference. It's the dark border that was 1 per store that's going for $50. It's a 32-page promotional release that provides details about the 2-month long-awaited event called Future State, where we're going to see a more optimistic narrative. I'm so excited that DC is soliciting something that isn't impending doom dystopian style. We're going to find out 20 years into the future what our existing heroes are doing and what new heroes are on Earth.
Tom, it will be great to see a bunch of new characters in a much brighter future for DC. 2020 has been a downer of a year, and it'll be great to actually have something new comic book-wise. Now, DC is stopping all of the other runs and making 25 2-issue miniseries of these new characters. And where is it going to go? We're not quite certain. But I, for one, am very excited and paying attention to Key Collector in case we find any more information about these new characters.
Courtesy of Key Collector, there's a whole Future State category that's waiting for you to consume. There are so many characters that we already know are slated for the future, but we have to also watch what starts to pop in the community, because this right here is testing ground for all of these characters. Could any of these be fan favorites that will then lead on to other narratives and possible solo stories? I'll remind you, when Marvel started something like this, kind of similar in the past, that's when we got Jane Foster. That's when we got Ms. Marvel. Heck, Spider-Gwen, anybody? And right now, I am more excited about the narratives. I mean, I want to know, who's our next Dark Knight? Is it going to be Tim? Is it going to be Damian? What's going on with the Flash? Who's taking on the mantle? We have Supergirl turning into Superwoman. We have Far Sector Green Lantern that's going to be taking on a role. What is going to happen to our heroes? I'm all in. This right here sounds way cooler than the 5G rumors of last year.
We are so excited about this new big event. Comment down below for another chance to win the giveaway this week.
And let's look at number 3. On this list, we have Star Wars Tales, issue number 4, seeing average sales of $20. This is the first appearance of the Dark Trooper, an advanced battle droid. And after Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3 a couple weeks ago, we saw them at the very end. That's now pushed spec to something that first appeared in a video game, seeing a 750% increase in copies sold in just 7 days.
So for those of you who are fans of the Star Wars video games and may have played Dark Forces, you already are familiar with the Dark Trooper character. Now, not everyone who's a Star Wars fan reads Star Wars comics, but some of you are doing things like watching the Clone Wars. And if you watch the Clone Wars, you are definitely more familiar with a lot of these new characters, people like Ezra Bridger or Ahsoka Tano.
That's right. We have characters and different fan favorites that have appeared outside of comic continuity. And this opens the doors for members of the community to get in who are not as affluent in the comic market. And we have more comics to talk about, but not before we chat about number 2 on the list, because Rosario Dawson is causing a spike that has nothing to do with Star Wars. We have DMZ issue number 1, going for $40 averages and $279 at a grade of 9.8. And Russ, I'm thinking the members may have stopped speccing on DMZ a little early.
So Tom and I have been talking about this book for almost 2 years. It's about a civil war set in the future. Now, we had heard that Rosario Dawson was tied to this as far back as March, but we now have confirmation that HBO Max has ordered a series. And this same 9.8 was available last month for only $100. People just kind of forgot this was a spec book.
That's right. We saw confirmation that Rosario Dawson was leading this franchise back in March after director Ava DuVernay went to Twitter saying, "I am so privileged that we completed the pilot. We were surprised that they actually filmed to completion an episode," and she went out of her way to congratulate Rosario Dawson for her fantastic work, who would then go on to tweet how much she appreciated the good teamwork that they were able to accomplish because the series was so awesome. This right here means that Rosario Dawson's hype over this last year has only increased, pushing more spec to focus on DMZ, a once heavily spec'd on book that's actually seen some lows over pandemic. I'll remind the community about the DMZ exclusive convention variant. It looks like the cover A, but it was given away at a convention. We've told you about this book multiple times over the last 2 years. Hit that subscribe button. Going for $3 last month, now going for $40 currently. Keep an eye out on DMZ, and frankly, keep an eye out for anything Rosario Dawson touches.
So I know you guys have been doing your Black Friday shopping, and we only have 2 weeks left for you to sign up for the mystery mail call. We have an incredible Peach Momoko TMNT number 110 variant that's going out to all of our subscribers this month. You could get the virgin cover or the trade dress cover. You're going to get one or the other.
And it's the first appearance of The Last Ronin in preview. Should I tease the Nick Klein cover, Russ?
Did I what?
Should I tease the Nick Klein cover, Russ?
Absolutely. I think that's great because we've already been talking about King in Black this week.
All right, Russ said it. We have Null on a cover by Nick Klein. You know we had to do a King in Black number 1 mystery mail call exclusive that every member will get in December. And you're right. Support the show and get your King in Black. Let's hit him with number 1 on the list.
Star Wars fans rejoice because crowning the list this week, we have our 3rd Star Wars book on the list. Coming in at number 1, Star Wars Legacy number 1. Now this is an interesting one because there's no actual reason why this book is spiking other than the fact that there are a ton of first appearances in this book. This is a relatively low print run book for Star Wars books. It's got about 38,000 copies made, but we are seeing an $80 average sale and a $550 high sale for a CGC 9.8.
A 260% increase in copies sold. What does the comic fam know that we don't? Key Collector even says there's no clear reason why people are spending this much money unless the High Republic antagonists, the Nile, are causing speculation over Darth Nil. Or it's just yet another Star Wars comic book exceeding normal gains. Let's go over some of the first appearances found in this issue.
Wow, there are a lot of them, Tom. We have the first full appearance of Darth Krayt. We have the first appearance of Darth Nil. We have the first appearance of Darth Malady. We have the first appearance of the 3rd Darth Weirlock. First full appearance of Cade Skywalker and Shadow Vow. First appearance of Wolf Sazin, plus it's the 2nd cover appearance of Darth Talon.
Could we be seeing effort from the Star Wars community trying to spec on things that they may happen in cinema if they take us to a world where we're going to follow Cade Skywalker or maybe one of these other very coveted appearances in Star Wars canon? We don't know. We hope the community knows something we don't, but there are multiple versions of this cover that you can spec on. Aside from the direct market, look out for the newsstand that doesn't say direct in that barcode. There's a 2nd print white background with yellow trade dress variant. There's even a 3rd print white background with gray trade dress variant. And at the end of all of that spec, it's an Adam Hughes cover, Russ.
It's so great, and I'm so glad that Adam Hughes was on this run because he did some really, really beautiful covers.
Now, that's a lot of printings for you to consider, and I'll just leave you with this. The 3rd print hit $600 at 9.8 over this last month. Comic fam, I need your support. Slap that like button, hit the subscribe button, comment down below, and as always,
Geek responsibly.
Enough said. Got other videos for you to check out. I made them for you. We did, as a channel, trying to bring you value. You know, that's what we do here. Have a good weekend.